This video is dedicated to Deja Shade. A huge shout out to Deja Shade for supporting the channel. Yarok the Desecrated, the Lands Matter variant, versus Will Kenrith this time. I think I've played against a Will Kenrith deck before that was very potent. Anyway, let's keep that. We're still looking at some blue mana, or looking for some blue mana. Yeah, but hopefully we can make use of Field of the Dead eventually. So let's just get down a tap land to start things off. Okay, there's a wasteland. Let's just get down a forest. I might go for the wasteland and Vesuva onto said wasteland as well. Although double Field of the Dead sounds good as well. Yeah, not sure what we'll go for there. If our opponent's just in mono blue, then they've probably got a bunch of islands. Seems as though they're just holding up counter magic. Alright, Woodland Cemetery, still no blue mana unfortunately. Let's try Azusa. If they've got counter magic, then Azusa is sure to eat that. Yeah, and it looks as though they're not even looking at what we're playing, they just want to counter anything. And then going in for Coalition Relics, so at least they're not holding up counters again. Let's go for, well, famous last words, I don't think they are. Yeah, let's go Azusa. We'll go in for Field of the Dead. We'll go Vesuva onto Field of the Dead as well. We could have gone for an island on that. Maybe we should have done. We'll go for a wasteland as well. I think it's 7 lands we need, isn't it? If you control 7 or more, so with the Urborg and another land, we can actually get a bunch of zombies going. So it's a toss-up between whether going for blue mana there with Vesuva or Field of the Dead was better. Anyway, they're consistently playing lands here, so they could tap down all their mana and go in for their Will Kenrith, but they're deciding to just hold off for now. Pretty much any land here will do, apart from a forest. A turnabout. Choose artifact, creature or land, tap all of the permanents of the chosen type. Alright, I don't think we were doing much this turn anyway. We could have gone in for the Avenger actually. Might want to wait for that until we've got Yarok though. Sakura Tribalder, that gets us into blue. So we'll play the Urborg. And then we can go Avenger of Zendikar next turn, maybe play another land. So maybe we just go in for Yarok and Sakura Tribalder next turn. We might not be able to get down Yarok. We might just have to rely on Sakura Tribalder next turn to get us into blue mana. And this time our opponent's going for the Will Kenrith. They can draw cards, they can, until the end of the next turn, have a creature lose its abilities. Yeah, not really worried about anything there. Maybe the plus ability on our Yarok wouldn't be particularly good for us. Then a Frantic Search, untap some lands for them, so they can still hold up the counter magic. Alright, but apparently not holding up counter magic. They went for Into the Royal without drawing a card. So they're obviously worried about Azusa swinging into the Will Kenrith. Obnixilis the Fallen with no lands. Let's see if they want to counter. I'd rather they countered that than the Sakura Tribalder, to be honest. So let's go for Obnixilis. That lands, so we'll go for Sakura Tribalder as well. And we'll wait until the end of our opponent's turn, most likely, to crack the Sakura Tribalder for a, nearly said a plains then, an island. Temple of the False God coming down for our opponent now, so they've got plenty of mana. Can they deal with our Obnixilis? Ooh, a Palinchron. Well, at least they don't have High Tide, but Palinchron is a massive combo piece. They're minusing down on the Will Kenrith to kill it off. And that is, yeah, they draw 2 cards, and instant sorcery and planeswalker spells cost 2 less to cast for them. Which might mean that they just play their entire hand here. Extra turn card maybe. No, Tezzeret the Seeker. So it could be Vidalcan's Shackles. But if we keep playing threats like this, then maybe they won't be able to take our stuff. How many +1 counters do we get as well? It's 3 plus counters. They've only got 5 islands. Oh, anyway, they went for extra planar lens to double up their mana, so that might be enough mana to go infinite with the Palinchron. I don't think it is actually, because they need to replay the Palinchron as well, don't they? Well, they get down their Will Kenrith, and they have some creatures lose abilities, so we'll at least get the plus counters on Obnixilis. But we're not going to be able to swing in with Obnixilis next turn, unfortunately, like I hoped we were going to be able to. We will have some Field of the Dead activations, though. Our opponent will lose 3 life, and it's 3 plus counters on Obnixilis. So at least we can still deal with the Tezzeret. We've still got Will Kenrith to deal with, though. And then a Jace the Mind Sculptor as well, excellent. So Jace goes on to an Unsummon on Obnixilis. So do we get rid of Jace or Tezzeret is the question. I think we get rid of Jace over Tezzeret. Flooded Strand is excellent, so let's go in for Yarok and try and make the best use out of our Field of the Dead as possible. Play out the Flooded Strand, make a bunch of zombies. Might as well play out the Azusa as well. Then we'll give our opponent less mana next turn by getting rid of the Temple. I think we'll attempt to get down Avenger of Zendikar next turn. Let's swing everything in at Jace. Not blocking a single zombie there, curiously. Now, I don't think they quite have enough mana to go infinite with that Palinchron. It will be 11 mana, I think. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Yeah, untapping some artifacts anyway. I think it will be 11 mana to bounce that and play it back. So they'll need more than 11 mana's worth of islands in order to make use of that. A Preordain, a Scry 2 and draw. Then a Factor Fiction. You can have a Condescend or a bunch more mana. That's pretty easy as Factor Fiction piles go. They decided to take the mana over the Condescend, so they might already have a counterspell in hand. Then Snap Mage goes into something. I'm not sure what they're going for here. They're obviously fishing for some kind of combo win or something like that. Yeah, they're fishing for something, going for Factor Fiction again. And there it is. Alright, you can have... what is that? Look at the top 7 cards, put 2 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom. I mean, at least you have to spend mana on that. Let's just give you even more lands. We know that they have a bunch of lands and a mana vault in hand, so even more lands I don't really think hurts all that much. Yeah, they decide to take even more lands, and they get rid of the mana drain. They can cast that spell that we just put in their hand. And there they go, drawn from Dreams. And now it is a Thirst for Knowledge. Draw 3, discard 2 unless you discard an artifact. And yeah, it's an artifact they get rid of. I'm surprised they didn't just pitch a load of lands there, or a couple of lands. And then it is a Dig Through Time. So it looks as though they're tapped out now. I can't remember if they played a land. It looks as though they're tapped out. I'm hoping that they don't have Force of Will or something. I think our plan currently is our plan at the moment to go for Obnixilis. I think we can wait on the Flooded Strand either way. They block Yarok. They block a zombie. We get through with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 zombies for 10 points of damage. We get Azusa through as well for 11. 13 if we've got another zombie or so. Nah, we'll go for it now, I think. Yeah, let's go for it now and just try and flood the board with zombies. Alright, a Zendikar Resurgent. That's a mana doubler for us. I'm just worried about them having Cyclonic Rift, so I'm not all that eager to get the Avenger of Zendikar down, especially not when we've already got a flood of tokens. Yeah, if we can stick Avenger of Zendikar, that would really help us. Anyway, let's try and deal with these Planeswalkers. We'll send that in at Tezzeret, and that in at Tezzeret as well, so that's definitely going down. And then they could double block to save Will Kenrith. Oh, actually, no, you'd need to send a third in, wouldn't you? Because they've got 2 creatures if they want to keep Tezzeret. So there we go. And then it's that gets blocked, and then 1 and 2 in to take out Kenrith. And then these go in at our opponent. So there we go. It is 4 in at our opponent. Then we've got 2 zombies and Yarok going in at Tezzeret. And then these 4 going in at Will Kenrith. So the Planeswalkers are going down here. And we'll deal some damage to our opponent as well. Everything's coming through. Snapcaster deciding to get rid of Azusa. Azusa's damage has well and truly been done here. So don't care about that. Take out the Planeswalkers, take our opponent down to 17. And we will not do that. And we've got an island that taps for 2. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That'll then tap for 3, so we could make them worry about some counter magic here. So let's go for the Zendikar Resurgent. That lands, I don't know if they have any counter magic or not, but they've obviously decided to give us that. Tapping out entirely, so have they got something here? Alright, so they're looking to, yeah, maybe make infinite mana here. I never play with Palinchron. Yeah, they've got a mana float in there, so all they do here is play Palinchron, untap stuff, bounce it back, replay it again, and they just do that a bunch of times and get as much mana as they like. Still don't know what they're going to do with the infinite mana and how they're going to win with it, so not going to scoop up here. With the floating mana now going in for Kenrith, and they go straight in for the minus on that to draw into some more cards and cast a bunch more instants and sorceries. Then an extra turn card. It was only a matter of time before one of those showed up, so I'll just fast forward through the turn again. Everflowing Chalice coming down with some of the floating mana. It's only got 1 charge counter on it. Even more rocks coming into play now in Sol Ring and the Arcane Signet. So the mana concerns are well and truly over, especially with the infinite mana, of course. At some point during all that, sorry I kind of switched off, there was Temporal Mastery, so they've gone for another extra turn card. They've gone for Ugin as well, which has wiped out all of our zombies as well as our commander. Yeah, so no prizes for guessing who is likely to win this one. I'll let it play out a little bit longer and see if they actually decide to get the win off or not. Swinging in at us with the Palinchron before going for the infinite mana now. Alright, we have now just seen, what was that? Yeah, that was Commit going on top of our library, or Commit putting the Zendikar Resurgent on top of our library, I should say. Then we're each going to draw 7 cards. We get into Reclamation Sage, a little bit late for that. That would have been really good onto the extra planar lens earlier on. But it is far too late for that at this point. Blue Sun Zenith, I think they just cast for X14, so they've got 20 cards in hand now. Then they went for Nexus of Fate, so it's just a turns deck basically. Thirst for Knowledge. Yeah, I don't know if it's Labman or that Merfolk Oracle, whatever it is. Yeah, I'm not sure what the aim of this deck is. And it's worth pointing out that with Blue Sun Zenith, our opponent could have drawn his entire deck with infinite mana from the Palinchron, but that assumes that he has Laboratory Maniac. It also assumes that we don't have counter magic for the Laboratory Maniac. But they've got an extra turn anyway. They go in at us with Palinchron, and they just carry on doing all the stuff they have been doing. Bouncing things and drawing a load of cards. Creating infinite mana, extra turns. I imagine we've got more extra turns to see yet. They kill off their own Kenrith, which doesn't really matter because of the infinite mana, but they are wanting to go for things like Drawn from Dreams for only 2 mana. 48 cards left in the library. There's that Nexus of Fate again. Yeah, I mean, I am literally just sat here watching my opponent play. I've been doing so for the past 15 minutes, so I am going to call it a day there. We will declare our opponent the winner. Really not sure how our opponent actually wins the game there. I imagine they do at some point. They're probably just going for Laboratory Maniac, which we've all seen on the channel before, so no need to see it again. That's a good game to my opponent. Hopefully you all enjoyed these games as well. I'm sure there's some Will Kenrith fans out there. I have played it before in 1v1. Might even be the same player, I don't know. But you can look for that in the list of videos if you want to see that one. Just type tribalkai Will Kenrith or something like that. Anyway, hopefully you all enjoyed the games. Like I said, be sure to leave it a thumbs up and a subscribe if you did. And I will see you all in the next one. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.